I mean, for me, I feel like I'm almost like a kind of nerdy musician in therapy when I work in film scores, because I think I was so, when I was a kid, I was so fascinated by the inner mechanics of music, just the pure maths of it, basically, the beauty of music in and of itself as an expression of the universe, the mathematics of it, that I wasn't actually paying any attention to the emotion of it. So some musicians come out of the need to express an emotion. So they write a song, or it's all about a performance, or they're a punk band and it's about emotion. It's not about technique. And it's like, I think I came at music from a very logical pattern. A lot of intuition still goes into patterny performances and performances of pattern-based music, but it's fundamentally, I was kind of nerding out. That's why I kind of got into jazz, and I got into the nerdy details of the inner noodling of music. And then I got into technology and the synths and all the rest of it, and I was just nerding out as well. But when I started to work for media, even an advert or like a short film or something like that, it's the same thing, but just on a smaller scale. It's just like massive. Yeah. But it's only about the emotion and nothing else. It's like the director don't care how you made the sound. They don't care. It's nice to have a studio with lots of things on the wall. I mean, I'm at home actually. I've been set up at home since COVID happened, and I'm building the studio. But it's nice to have a space that makes them feel like they're employing a professional, because it's an important project and they don't want it to go wrong. But fundamentally, loads of them, they do not care where it comes from. And it's just, I've just got a laptop and a controller keyboard and some bits and pieces. I have a very minimal setup. I don't have like thousands of keyboards and loads of, I just, they don't.
It's what you need.
I have a piano track that almost, they don't. Yeah. They don't care. I have a piano track that we almost placed in a movie. That was a thing that I improvised at the piano that I recorded on my mobile. I just put the mobile on the phone. I put the mobile on the piano and hit, just the notes program, just to not forget what I was doing. I was making notes for myself, composing away, And I sat at the piano and I noodled around, and I kind of happened to just get lucky, and I had a good day, and I found something that worked, and I didn't get it wrong, and I kept going, and my editor brain was going, I made a mistake, I'll just edit that out later. And I kind of noodled around and came up with this idea. And then I took the recording, even though it was a bad recording, off the telephone, a cheap telephone, and it was like, wow, it's full of character. Yeah. It's that kind of broken old piano. Yes. It doesn't sound like it's recorded in a big hall with a beautiful microphones. This is like an upright piano in someone's house, and it's like, it worked. And that, I had to obviously kind of master it and EQ it and correct it and get rid of any, buzzes or whatever, improve the quality, give it a clean. But it was, it's on Spotify actually. I published it on my Spotify. It's like I published like a 4-track EP of piano tracks, and it's one of them. It's the first one.
I'm gonna find it then.
Yeah, and I did 2 tracks that were just kind of improvisations, and I edited them and I published them because I liked them, and they were just demos for film, which didn't get used, but they were part of my process of exploring. After I'd done the groundwork of what's the film about, I started to noodle around and see what happens, and using that internal compass, and that was one of them. And it's like that was done. And the director was listening to it, and she was just reacting emotionally. That's nice, I like it. It didn't work musically, it was too complex for the scenes. Film music is often very simple. You do too much. Yeah. There's so much going on already. You don't need to do much. In fact, you kind of get it wrong if you do too much. I had to learn to kind of undo layers and do less, because there's already a structure, an emotional intent, where we've been, where we're going. There's stuff going on already with the actors and thing, and the look and the cinematography and the lighting. There's so much going on already. The music doesn't need to do much necessarily. There are moments when it needs to do loads, but you can do loads with nothing. But barely a sound and just a little tinkle of something or whatever, and you can create. Like a recorder just going do to a reverb. If you just listen to that, you go, okay, yeah, that's cool. But if you have it against a certain image, you're like, wow. Yeah, right. And that's what I love about it, because it's not just music kind of propping up a film. Like, I think some people think lazily music is there to kind of prop up a film. But it's like, it's not that, because the film and all that's going on in there is giving so much power to the music, and the music's giving power to them. There's a conversation going on, and it's that's powerful, the conversation between the two. And once I kind of started to understand that and realized you could do very little, you get quicker, if not anything else. You don't have to write full things. You can just do it all very quickly. But anything goes, and that's what I love as a musician. Anything goes. I can, as long as it's not like bad. You can have good bad, like a shitty guitar played in a shitty amp, making a bit of a punky sound, played by my limited guitar playing, sounds a bit punky and a bit garage, and that's what's needed in this moment. Not like an excellent guitar player and a beautiful amp recorded in a top studio. That won't actually have that punky feel that we need for that particular scene. But it could also just be like a bad guitar plugged in, it's got noise, and it's just not going to work. So there is kind of bad, but there's also great bad, if you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I totally understand what you mean.
And I love that, because it's like, the process. Once I've kind of set my compass, it's like, how do we want to do this? What's going to work? And serendipity will happen. Like, I didn't plan for this piano recording to work. But once I put it together, I wasn't rejecting it because, I better do that properly, I do it again. I was like, wow, there's something there. There's a feeling. There's an emotion going on. Let's run with it and present it. And the director's it's just another color being put on their palette, and they're painting it on their thing going, that seems to work. They don't care where it comes from. And they don't even want to know necessarily. You start going on about kilohertz and G minor 7, and they're just, I'm busy thinking about the story I want to tell. I don't care. It actually distracts me.